Okay, so with that, let's start. And once again, welcome all to our Testbed Delegation to Finland in conjunction with the Radical Health Festival info webinar today. My name is Sami Jääskeläinen. I'm working as a Counsellor for Trade and Investment. I'm based here in Tel Aviv, working with the Finnish Embassy. And I'll be your host and an MC today. So it is my pleasure to warmly welcome you all to our info webinar today. And some house rules, as usual, before we start. Please keep yourself muted. You can ask questions by unmuting yourself or putting the questions to chat. Either way is fine. We do have a generic Q&A at the end of this session, but if you want to address specific hospital representatives or the IIA representative, you can also do that immediately after their turn. So we have allocated a little bit of time for that. This session will be recorded, and the recording and all the presentations that you are seeing today will be shared with you hopefully tomorrow, unless today. So then you will get all the materials and the relevant links and whatnot. So, and we do have plenty of ground to cover today. So with that, let's kick off and have a quick look at the agenda. So after the welcome words, we are happy to have Neta, Gruber from Israeli Innovation Authority, talk about the collaboration with Finland and the upcoming call for the proposal with the various Finnish testbed providers. And after that, we are very lucky and delighted to have 4 Finnish testbed providers and hospitals with us today. So we have Health Group Helsinki, Oulu Health, Turku Health Campus, and then Tampere Health. And then towards the end, we will go basically through the Testbed Delegation agenda, and then we have also time for the Q&A. But before I hand over the stage to Neta, just a very briefly kind of like painting a little bit the big picture that what's going on with the Finland and Israel health tech collaboration and what has been going on during the last couple of years. So first of all, I think it's good to everybody to know that Team Finland has resources here present in Tel Aviv, working at the embassy. So that's me. And health tech has been already for years basically one of our key focus areas, and we are actively building these bridges between Israel and Finland to provide opportunities for Finnish companies, obviously here, but also then providing opportunities to Israeli companies in Finland through these various activities. There was also the MOU signed by Business Finland and Israeli Innovation Authority in Life Science last year, which was obviously great big milestone for all of us. And so shows basically then the support from the government agencies for this innovation collaboration. And Neta will talk more about that later on. And basically, regularly, we are organizing various kind of investor, company, or health institution delegations to Israel or to Finland. And today we are covering one of these. Like I mentioned, we have 4 representatives from various health ecosystems in Finland, but I want to very briefly cover a little bit about the broader picture, and maybe then starting actually from the health data, as it's very relevant obviously these days and for many of you as well. So Finland made a large legislation change in 2019, basically allowing the secondary use of healthcare and social data to be utilized and used for various purposes, also R&D but also commercial purposes. And we do have a national level solution and organization managing the aggregated data from the various sources. It's called FinData. And this data is also then through FinData available for the foreign companies and of course in a secure way. Finland is also very, I would say, world-class medical research. So many of these health ecosystems actually have a university hospital as a core part of their ecosystem. Finland has a very good cooperation built between the public and private operators. And many of these things are really related to that high trust that Finland and Finnish citizens are having and showing basically by, for example, allowing the use of the data for the secondary purposes in healthcare. We have excellent pool of life science talent also in Finland. And of course, that vast pool of data then also brings the strong competencies in big data analytics and AI. And for those who don't know, actually Finland has 100% of all the patient records has been digitalized. So that's a very good starting point. And here on this deck there is a link to the great brochure that was recently published, which will then tell more about the various Finnish testbed providers and so on. So the link is there, and it will be also then included to the email that I will be sending you then tomorrow. But with that, I'm going to hand over the stage to our first speaker, Neta Gruber from IIA, talk about then the collaboration between Finland and Israel and the upcoming call proposal. So Neta, with that, I'm going to let you share your screen and stage is yours.
Great. Thank you so much. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Sami, and it's great to be here. Excited about this, and I have to start off by complimenting Sami. He's really doing a great job. He's very dedicated, and I think it's a great asset for everyone, for both ecosystems, to have you here. So thank you for that, and to all of our Finnish partners. As Sami mentioned, I work for the Israel Innovation Authority. I have a few titles. Here is the Europe Desk Director. I deal with a few different things. But here we have a good overlap because it's both Europe and health tech, which is a main area of focus for the Israel Innovation Authority in general and for me specifically. So what I wanted to do in the next couple of minutes is to give you a kind of short overview of the Israel Innovation Authority, who we are, what we do, and then specifically about our international health tech collaboration program and the opportunity with Finland. So I'll do it rather briefly, but then if you have any questions afterwards, let me know. Let's just see that my presentation is working. Okay, great. So the Israel Innovation Authority, very briefly, we are Israel's national funding agency. Our task is to support the Israeli high-tech ecosystem. We work across many different sectors, and we support entrepreneurs, so innovation from across the life cycle of innovation, from early stage single entrepreneurs, even before that tech transfer from academia to the industry, onto early stage companies, and then growth companies that want to scale globally. The way we work is mostly by providing conditional loans. We have an annual budget of $500 million, more or less, that we used to provide to Israeli companies as conditional loans for creating either R&D or early stage pilots. So the way we operate is that a company would apply to us. We have different calls for proposals. We have about 2,500 submissions per year. A company would apply to us. It will be assigned an expert evaluator. This is what you see here, that we have 180 expert evaluators. So depending on the specific field that you're working on, you'll be assigned an evaluator. Those evaluators carry on a rigorous due diligence process. They would evaluate the company, the business potential, the technological novelty. In our context, they would evaluate the joint project, the collaboration, and they would want to see that it's a win-win. And then they would decide on they would submit a report, and then there is a committee that decides if you're going to receive funding. We don't have a specific cap for the amount of funding we provide, but rather it's based on a project-to-project basis. But we almost always provide up to 50% of that budget. So our idea is to complement the private sector, but we are not there to replace it. So each company that applies to us would then also need to come up with additional resources coming from the private sector. However, we are there to share the risk with the companies. So a conditional loan means that if you are successful in commercializing the product that you are provided the support from the Israel Innovation Authority, then you would need to repay with royalties up to the sum that you received. We don't have an upside. We're not there to make a profit, but you need to repay the loan. if you weren't successful, which does happen, obviously, innovation is a risky field, then we share the risk with you. The loan is converted into a grant and you don't have to repay us, because the idea is that we are there to support those companies who would otherwise have a challenging time working on their innovative solutions. So as I said, our mission is to promote innovation as leverage for inclusive and sustainable growth in Israel. And we have 3 main pillars of activity. The one I just mentioned was supporting R&D and pilots of innovative, high-risk, groundbreaking technologies. So there, the emphasis is if it's very close to market, if it's already easy for the private sector to invest in, then go to the private sector. We are there to complement where it's still risky. The private sector might be hesitant to invest, or there might be long ROI. It will require many resources to develop. This is where we come in. So have that in mind when you're thinking about applying to us. The second pillar of activity is gearing up for emerging technologies. So there we are thinking, where would Israel be and where we want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time. And this is what we are trying to create the infrastructure for today. So these are the 4 areas that we have identified. Climate tech, that's relatively new to us. So I'm glad it's finally was decided that there is a national climate tech program. Bioconvergence, I'll say a word about that in a second. It's the nexus point between life sciences, AI, and engineering, computational biology, and so forth. So that's very relevant to us. And AI and quantum, that applies to many different sectors, and we have many activities there. And I can share specifically about health tech that the Israel Innovation Authority is consistent in its support of health tech. So we could see that about 1/3 of our investments, as I said, we have 2 billion shekels, about €500 million each year. About 1/3 of that goes to supporting health tech. So we are very much committed to that field. And the challenge is diversification. So here you can see the breakdown of different sectors and the investment they get, the capital they raise. This is from 2021. Obviously, we know that now the situation is more challenging than that, but still then you could see that more than 70% is dedicated to these fields: cyber, fintech, retail, communications. We have nothing against them, they're great, but we also want to support fields that are not less important, such as agrotech and health tech. So this is where we are coming in to invest. And I did mention our bioconvergence. So we see that there's a lot of potential there. By the way, it doesn't only apply to human health. Bioconvergence applies to many other fields, but here we are talking about human health or health tech. So you should know that there is a national program. The initial scope of it is going to be $145 million. And the idea there is to really jumpstart this ecosystem by building multidisciplinary R&D infrastructures, developing multidisciplinary talented workforce, working on scientific excellence, working to stimulate companies. So a lot of activity there. That's the context of our work. So now about the International Health Tech Program. So we have a program. I can't mention now the exact dates of when the next call for proposals is going to be open. It's going to be toward the end of this year. We will be able to update you later on. We're still working on it, but the general idea is this. We are working with different partners. Here we have 4 partners from Finland, which is great, and you'll hear more about them in a second. What we are looking to do is to launch a call for proposals where these partners present their challenges or their interests or their abilities to support Israeli companies. The Israeli companies submit what we call EOI, expression of interest, which means generally, this is us, this is our technology, this is who we want to collaborate with. Then we do kind of an initial screening or a sort of evaluation of these EOIs. we pass on that information to our partnering health centers. They identify those companies that are interested in, that are potentially a good fit for what they are interested in, what they have to offer. And then the company and the health tech partner work together to create a project. It can be either an R&D project or a pilot project. And when I say that, I don't want to get into specific TRLs, but I can say that R&D to us is where there's co-development, new IP is created. And a pilot program is where there is no new IP, the technology is already existing, and then and it belongs to the Israeli company, and then the idea is to validate it and to run a POC, or it could be the second POC, sort of a pilot, the first pilot or second pilot abroad, and we will provide up to 50% funding for that, as I mentioned, and we don't have a specific cap for the project size. We do, however, focus that funding covers the cost of the Israeli company. So not the cost of the partner. That's important to say. So this is an overview. I really hope that you choose to go to Finland to get to know your potential partners and to see the potential for collaborations. And then once we launch this program, you will already be kind of well prepared to apply. So stay tuned and we'll let you know how it's developing. And here's my email. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Here I'll stop sharing. And I think, Sami, we won't take questions now, right? I'll do whatever you prefer, if you think we can take questions now or later on.
Yes, thank you so much, Neta, for your kind words and a good presentation. Yeah, we can take some questions now if you have from the audience, so you can just unmute yourself and ask questions. So please go ahead. Okay, so seeing that everything is clear at this point, but Neta, you are able to stay on the line.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so if later on when we have the Q&A.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Neta. Excellent. Thank you. All right. And then I'll take the screen back for a short while. And then next one, basically, we're going to have a Katariina Rouvinen. She is the development manager at Helsinki University Hospital, which is part of the Health Group Helsinki. And Katariina will tell us more about the details and the different stakeholders that are included in Health Group Helsinki. So with that, Katariina, I'm going to hand over the stage for you, and you can start sharing your screen.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me, and I hope I can share my screen. I'm used to operating with Teams, but let's hope that I
can hear you well, and you should be able to see.
Good.
Yes, we can see it. Perfect.
Good, great. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Katariina Rouvinen, and I work as a development manager in HUS Helsinki University Hospital, and I like to wish you warm greetings from sunny Helsinki, sunny Finland. At least finally we have spring here also. At least in Helsinki we don't have any snow left, so it's looking good. I'm happy to present HealthProof Helsinki for you today. So HealthProof Helsinki is an ecosystem of 3 members. We have Metropolia, University of Applied Sciences, which is the largest university of applied sciences in Finland. We have the city of Helsinki, Finland's capital city and the largest employer in Finland. And we have HUS Helsinki University Hospital, where I work, and that is one of the largest hospital organizations in Europe and the second largest employer in Finland. And together we are HealthProof Helsinki. Metropolia has state-of-art simulation hospital in its premises, the Center of Biomechanics and Movements, as well as data, artificial intelligence, ICT, extended reality, 5G, and automation experts and environments. They can involve their multidisciplinary student reserve and staff in these RDI work and projects. And the city of Helsinki provides access to its real-life testing environments and experts in primary healthcare and social services. And in our university hospital, we have cutting-edge, secure and scalable cloud solution for research called as HUS Acamedic and also HUS Data Lake. And we have world-class clinical specialists. We are offering smooth access for health tech and medtech companies to our ecosystem expertise, facilities, and equipment at various stages of the product or service development through a unified customer journey. Here you can see our services. We have different services for different phases of the product development process. For example, we have expert assessment or prototyping or clinical device trial. And the process goes like this. First, you can fill out the online form on our website, healthproofhelsinki.fi/contact. Then we will evaluate the test case. We have meetings once a week. So we have these roundtable meetings with Metropolia, City of Helsinki, and HUS. And we go through all those contacts. Then we will contact you. We might ask more information if needed, or we can offer you some kind of proposal for how to proceed. And then hopefully, if we will have mutual interest, we can start the collaboration. We are located in metropolitan area in Finland. You can see in the picture red area. And we are working also with other test beds in Finland. And in our HealthProof Helsinki steering group, we have different members from different organizations, such as Health Capital Helsinki, Business Finland, other research institutions, universities, and companies. Here you can see our team members from Metropolia, Helsinki, and HUS, and our contact information. And the slides will be delivered to you after this session. So HealthProof Helsinki could be your partner in health tech and medtech, and we will warmly welcome you to Radical Health Festival in Helsinki, and you can meet us in Health Capital Helsinki booth. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Katariina. We had actually one question for you from the audience. So do you have a microbiology lab serving hospital needs at HUS?
Yes.
Good. Like I said, also HealthProof Helsinki team will be present at the Radical Health Helsinki, and also as a part of the agenda that we will go through later on, there is site visits available for the Metropolia, which is basically the brand new testbed validation hospital built in the Helsinki city. So really really top-notch and great opportunity to see the various opportunities that you have in action. But if no other questions from the audience, and of course the deck also will have all the contact details for Katariina and the team, so then you can read them out later on. But next, then we're going to hand over the stage to Oulu, and Jenni Konttila from their team is presenting what kind of opportunities Oulu can offer. So Jenni, please.
Yes, thank you. Let me check, can I do this through Zoom, because usually using the Teams too. Hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yes, we are very well. So
Yes. Yeah, my name is Jenni Konttila and I work as a key account director for the health and life science sector, and my home organization is Business Oulu, and I'm representing you today a little bit about Oulu Health, but focusing on our Oulu Health Labs. So what is Oulu Health? Oulu Health is an ecosystem that brings together research and innovation, health and social care, but also health and life science companies. And as I represent this part of health and life science companies, we have also research and innovation units, like research institutes, like our university, Finnish Technical Research Center, VTG, and Oulu University of Applied Sciences. And here in Oulu, we also take also our university hospital and primary healthcare as well into account when we are developing our services, but we also take our citizens to our processes. And from our perspective, the business development is the focus, but also we aim to develop better social and healthcare services for our citizens. And Oulu is known as a forerunner in a digital health, and the digitalization is cross-cutting theme that covers education, research, our Oulu Health Lab services, but also we have many companies that are focusing on digital health. And I won't go this very detailed through because I want to focus on our Oulu Health Labs more detailed. And Oulu Health Labs are an innovation testing and development environment for companies and healthcare professionals. And here is a short summary of those services. And Timo Alalääkkölä is the contact person, and he is responsible for Oulu Health Labs, but he wasn't able today to participate and have this presentation, so therefore I'm doing that. We are located here in Oulu, and stakeholders of Oulu Health Labs are Oulu University Hospital, City of Oulu, and Oulu University of Applied Sciences. And services that we provide are clinical studies, co-creation services, concept development, need for assessment, piloting, and validation services. And we have tested more than 100 healthcare solutions with companies. And one of the recent cases that have been co-created is a Vitacom solution. And when you get this material, you can go through this link and read more about this co-creation processes. Oulu Health Labs concept is based on that you can have an idea, you can validate this idea, you can have expert panel discussion, is this idea good, but you can also develop your product and test it through these development processes. But if you already have a existing solution, you can also test it. And then you can get feedback, for example, about the usability of the solution. But the main idea is to ensure that the product that is the solution that is under development fits in real healthcare processes, and that there is an actual need for that kind of solution. Currently, we have 4 different kind of labs environments, and it is OAMK SimLab is Oulu University, is located in Oulu University of Applied Sciences, and is it simulation environment for nursing students, for example, and it is focusing on educational purposes. But you can also test your product with students in simulated healthcare processes. They have 8 different kind of simulation environments currently there in their SimLab. Then we have OU's test lab that is located in our university hospital, and there you can test in real clinical settings your products or solutions, and products can be tested also with patients, but that requires, of course, permissions and so on. But it is also possible to have this kind of testing. But here in test lab, you do, for example, simulated clinical testing environments. Then we have Kohde Wellbeing Lab. Maybe you have been seeing this presentation before, and then there was Oulu Welfare Lab, but we had social and welfare reform, and our hospital district is now Wellbeing Services County, and its name is Kohde. So we renamed our Wellbeing Lab services, but the main idea is the same, that you can test here your solutions in real patients environments like welfare centers or in patients' home, or for example, units where elderly people live. And our 4th testing environment is NIT-Lab, that is located in Oulu University Hospital. And this testing environment enables testing for the solution that require medical imaging and are focusing on medical imaging and radiology. And here is a shortly about those, what I told you a while ago, and here you can see. And then we have Oulu Health Labs labels, and here is the link where you can read more when you get these presentations. But the aim for these labs labels is that when company wants to co-create something together, they can have this co-created label. When there is a solution that is tested, can have tested label, and approved if some solution that already existed and you want just to check that it's fitting in our processes or in healthcare anyway. So this is our one way to have some kind of acknowledgement that you have tested your product with us. And as I mentioned, we have many health and life science companies here in Oulu, and this is a short introduction. What kind of solution we have been tested and developed, designed and developed here in Oulu, and some of these are also tested and co-created with our health lab services. for example, this NA device with a CAM solution and monitor. But we have solutions from head to toe, and we are very well known as a digital health developers. So if you want to come Oulu, we have these unique testing environments. We have a combination of ICT and health expertise, but we have also Future Hospital 2030 project that aims to be the smartest hospital in the world. And there is also some specific needs in future, maybe that requires new digital health innovations. So that is one opportunity what we can offer. So if you want to create a future in global healthcare, please come and test with us. And here is something about Oulu. I'm not sure how familiar you are where Oulu is or what we are doing, but we are located 1 hour flight up to north from Helsinki. And we are very innovative and safe city. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Jenni. And maybe to interesting detail for our Israeli audience is that, like as you saw from Jenni's presentation, there are a lot of medical devices, and actually Oulu was one of the Nokia's R&D centers, home for Nokia R&D centers, and you can imagine all the innovation that went through back in the days to the mobile devices, and many of these after Nokia, well, we all know what happened, but the engineers then shifted to the, for example, healthcare, and a lot of this innovation has then basically also moved to the various health tech devices. So that explains also a little bit why Oulu is such a great innovation hub at the moment. Excellent, thank you, Jenni. Let's see, there's no questions from the audience, but hopefully if you can stay on the line for a while, and let's see if we have some questions for you later on. Otherwise, we're going to move forward, and then basically, I think we have Tampere or Turku next.
I think it was Turku.
Yes.
First, and then Tampere.
Yes, so, Mira, please go ahead. Stage
thank
is yours.
Thank you very much. So, do you now see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay. So here we go. So good afternoon. My name is Mira Lehti, and I come from Turku, and I'm representing the Health Campus Turku network. And first, some details about Turku and why we could be an interesting partner for your collaboration. We have 3 special spearheads, and they are the life science industry, medical bioimaging, and healthcare data. So as you can see here on the slide, Turku region has the title of Pharma Capital of Finland, as we have the 75% of Finnish medicine export. So we are a very big influencer in this field. We have half of the Finnish in vitro diagnostics export, and now we are also a new national home to the Pharmaceutical Development Center. So we are very a big player in the life science industry field. And Health Campus Turku is an interdisciplinary ecosystem of health and welfare experts. We have research, education, and innovation collaboration, which is quite deep collaboration between 4 universities in our city. We have one business development company, and of course our university hospital as part of our network. And that makes us a very heavy player in doing innovation collaboration with health tech companies. Here you can see the members of our network, and through these members we are representing various research units where we do collaboration with these partners. And our network is organized in collaboration groups. In research, we do, of course, joint projects. Through our collaboration in education, we share expertise and, of course, also educate the future experts. But the biggest activities we have had during the last few years are in the innovation collaboration, as we have developed the innovation services together with the network. So the idea is in Health Campus Turku to organize our innovation services as a one point channel collaboration platform, Terttu, which can offer all the activities, all the test beds, and all the actors in our member organizations. So the company don't need to know who is the collaborator, who is the researcher that they are looking for. We are doing the job for the company. So we give the help and support in the beginning of collaboration, and we try to connect the companies with the right academics or clinicians. And we have tried to develop the service as simple as possible. So we have a single form on our website, and we need to answer actually only to a question: what can we do for your business? And we try to help and support and find the right players from our networks. And here's a picture of the process with Terttu collaboration platform. To be clear, we want to point out that we are not a sales channel. So of course, through our contact point, we get a lot of contacts also from sales units that want to contact our units, but this is a place for collaboration and co-creation. This is what we want to point out especially. But of course, in Finland, we also have a lot of possibilities on acquisitions, and in the public health sector alone, there are 3 billion euro acquisitions per year. So there's a great market also for the companies, but not through our service. But why to contact us and do collaboration or co-creation with our experts or our research units? Of course, to be fit to the Finnish markets with your products or your solutions. Through collaboration and co-creation with us, you get to take account the local national regulation and through that get access better to the health services. So we really recommend you contact us, and we can find the solutions together. Last, I would like to conclude some of our spearheads about the health data. I have a couple of slides about our specialized units. And one of them is the ARIA Clinical Informatics, which is a unit in the university hospital that focuses to the healthcare data. ARIA has the access to the actual patient data, biobank data, but also they are doing very great job related to the synthetic data. And this, I think, in the future will give even more possibilities also for the collaboration with companies. They have various services related to data, including data interpretation and analysis. And another specialized unit is IDAT. It's a team in the Turku Bioimaging Center, and they are doing in an international level very high level job related to the services related to image data. The services include data consultation and data analysis. And they of course have also the image analysis pipelines. Turku is also a host for the National European Digital Innovation Hub, EDIH. And Health Hub Finland serves also related to data related projects. Turku is very warmly welcoming you to collaborate, and so please, I hope you contact us and we can find a way to collaborate with your company. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Mira. And maybe to add on that, also Finland is a good gateway to European markets as well, because we are part of the EU, and perhaps it's the data regulation and the secondary use of data in social and healthcare what makes Finland a good platform then to deal and a gateway to European markets. But thank you again, Mira, for your presentation and sharing the Turku side. And then we're going to hand over the stage to Aino Salmi, who is presenting then the last but not our least today's Finnish testbed providers, which is Tampere. So Aino, if you want to take over and start by sharing your screen.
Okay, lovely to see you all here. And sunny moro from Tampere, as we say here in Tampere. So I am about to tell you now about Tampere health ecosystem and
yes,
testbeds. Yeah,
we can see your presentation. Just
wonderful. Yes.
Presentation mode. Yeah.
Great. So, okay, just to first tell you about the background. I'm quite a new person in this role, and also due to the health and social services reform and restructures here in Finland, the responsibilities, for example, for the testbed services, they are now newly organized, so that Business Tampere is actually like an umbrella, having all the testbeds handled and as a point of contact for both companies, but also testbeds that are interested in using the test before invest services or whatever services the companies are needed when they are having a good idea, an innovation or a test process going on. So there might be like several services we provide for them. So yeah, we are in a very exciting situation right now. shortly about Business Tampere. So Nokia is also very close to our hearts. We are actually, Nokia is a city area which is part of the Tampere region. And we also have the lovely legacy of Nokia technologies here in Tampere. So one of the jewelries we are having here is definitely the health tech technology. We are having lots of high talented engineers here and companies originally from Nokia technology. So yeah, we are in a same happy situation as Oulu is. Yeah, Tampere, Finland, and Business Tampere, we are, as I said, a regional economic development agency. We help local businesses, companies to grow. We help them internationalize or bring their services to other areas here in Finland. So we work kind of mostly regionally, but also nationally and of course internationally. And here you can see like where we are in the right in the middle, working there with different type of partners. They are all very close to us. So you can see they are like mostly here you can see public partners, but we also work a lot with third sector and private.
Sorry, Aino, to interrupt. We are only seeing your first slide, and
Really?
it's not on the presentation mode. So maybe you want to have a quick look at that.
Just a second. It should be in the presentation mode. Now, which slide do you see?
No, it's just slide number 3. So
great success. Okay, so you didn't miss anything. There was just a short slide about the Business Tampere in general. But yeah, now about the Health Tampere. So here you see in a nutshell what we do. So we work with companies, we work with public, private sector. We provide lots of different type of services. And naturally, today we're talking about the test beds, which is a very important thing in our ecosystem.
sorry, we see still slide number 3.
This is weird because it changes normally here. I don't know how to fix this. And now it doesn't actually. If I stop sharing for a while.
Yeah, maybe try again. So.
Okay.
Reason sometimes helps.
Did it switch?
No. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's having this problem.
No, it's the same problem here.
Okay,
Just a second, because for me it looks like it changes. Normally, let's start from.
Okay, now this is slide number 5, but it's not on the presentation mode. So.
Is it now in a presentation mode?
No.
No, for me it looks like it's in a presentation. You're sharing and it's in a presentation mode.
Never mind, we can see it.
Yes.
Well, now we can't actually.
Yeah. You see now?
Yeah.
You see the slide?
Yeah, slide number 5.
Let's not switch anything. So here you see the how we call it big players of the ecosystem. So you see here the Health Tampere in the 11 o'clock, and then the University Hospital, naturally a very, very important partner for us. Both universities, the Tampere University and the Applied Sciences University, and then the Wellbeing Service County, Pirha, and then naturally the companies. So now you see a new slide, right?
Yeah.
Great. So what is very kind of efficient from our point of view is that we have recently signed a MOU with we have a joint steering group with Tampere University's Wellbeing Service Country, and we have a joint steering group that together handles and take care of different type of actions. We ensure that private companies, clinicians, researchers together are, working as an effective group. And we are all focusing to develop a efficient ecosystem so that all parties are benefiting from the platform and different activities. And now about the test beds. So as all of us, we think that the test beds and the service portfolio that we can provide is kind of an offer of versatile technologies, advisors, expertise that we can provide for both, companies, but for also different type of, for example, universities or students. So it's a very customized service, and we are right now developing the whole process, how to have it, as a service that is easy also for the company point of view, but also for the test services and partners. For example, I know that we have here in Finland cutting edge processes and services already in the testbed field. So I was very happy to see the presentations my dear colleagues Jenni and Mira presented. So good job, I think. So here shortly about the test beds in general. So for example, these three are now examples of real life hands-on testing that are, they are, for example, simulating clinical setups, or they might be used for innovations to test how they fit in different type of platforms. They might be used for example, usability testing. The great thing is that both many of the testing situations are such that they are students actually involved in the testing. So same time we get students involved in testing, they get trained for new innovations and technology. They have a really nice open-minded point of view to new technologies and services. And same time, the companies, for example, who are having the services and products tests, they will get very, very valuable feedback from the students. Then a cutting edge technology with different type of international partners. We have here just a short list of test services and surroundings that are provided mostly by the university. The university has their own webpage, which has a very good search engine to find more possibilities to test. So I will share the link for you afterwards. And then we have here the tissue center and the biobank, which are also very important for the local testbed surroundings. So I think we have a very nice and coherent service portfolio here in Tampere. And yeah, and just to mention, like Mira said, there is also going on the European Digital Innovation Hub, Health Hub Finland, and we are very lucky and happy to be also a partner in that project. So yes, that's a good example how we also work international, not only locally or Finland widely, but also international. Thank you, and I am very sorry about the technical problems. I hope you still had a chance to follow the story and understand what is Tampere and Tampere Testbeds all about.
Yes, we definitely. Thank you so much, Aino. And then again, like the presentation will be shared with all the links. Before we move forward, do we have any questions for Aino at this point? All good? All clear? All right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks again, Aino, and also the other representatives from Finland, so Helsinki, Oulu, and Tampere, and of course Neta. And now we still have time, about half an hour, so let's jump then to the actual delegation agenda. So basically the objective is that we want to use the Radical Health event as a platform, because it gathers basically all the Finnish and many European healthcare institutions and key stakeholders to Helsinki during that week. So it's a really good opportunity then to first of all meet the various Finnish testbed providers, but also reach out then the European audience. And basically the Radical Health event is taking place from in mid-June, so on Monday 12th to Wednesday 14th. And we have built now a tentative program for these 3 days. Most of the items are confirmed, some things still move around. And of course, we're always open to hear kind of like your needs, like who would be some of the key stakeholders that you would like to meet based on your solution. So for example, if you are keen to meet FinData, which is the Finnish Social and Health Data Permit Authority, national level agency aggregating and managing all the social and healthcare data, we can do that. Or is it the FinBP, which is representing the Finnish biobanks, or then the FinGenius. So these are kind of like some of the variables. But if you go through the agenda, the planned agenda day by day, so the first day, Monday, is kind of like half a day from the Radical Health event side. And I think that for those ones who are especially on the device side, the Metropolitan University of Applied Sciences Testbed hospital site visit is probably something quite interesting. So there is organized a tour there from 1 o'clock to 4:30. Or alternatively, then there is the EC to VC investment forum and the pitching competition, which is organized then in the same venue where the Radical Health event is taking place in the city of Helsinki. And I think that the pitching competition submissions, the deadline was already passed, but of course we can check if there is some room for the late submissions to apply to that. And then on the evening, as usual, the Israeli ambassador for Finland and Estonia is warmly welcoming you to her place and organizing a reception at the residence. And of course, every time then we are also inviting some of the Israelis and other relevant stakeholders from Finland to join this networking reception. So that would be a program for the Monday. Then Tuesday, we really want to focus on meeting all these various testbed providers. So today you've been hearing from Health Group Helsinki, Oulu, Tampere, and Turku, but there are also others who are coming to Helsinki during this week. So we're going to set up a proper meetings. They will go deeper. Also, now this has been fairly quick 10 minutes presentation to give you a brief overview. But during this meeting, we will go deeper, and then of course, then that allows you to have a proper dialogue, ask questions, go to the details more. So that's going to be basically then the main focus for the Tuesday. On Wednesday, we would like to kick off the day to meet with the Business Finland Invest In team, because Business Finland, it's a fairly similar organization as an IIA, but of course then they are also providing some additional non-financial support for the foreign companies who are exploring opportunities to come to Finland. So we have arranged a meeting with their team, and then they can also help how they can support you at this stage. And of course, then if you end up, establishing a legal entity in Finland because of the testbed project, whatnot, later on, then that will open the doors for the various Business Finland financial grants and other support vehicles. There's also, for those ones who are operating on the data space, there's TEHDAS towards the European Health Data Space Stakeholder Forum taking place at the Radical Health on Wednesday, might be interesting. Then we are organizing meetings with the Helsinki partners and Health Capital Helsinki. Katariina mentioned them briefly. So basically they are kind of like really the glue between various health and many other verticals as well, stakeholders in Helsinki, and very important to also to understand how they can potentially support if you end up doing something in the metropolitan area. And then basically, of course, want to have a little bit fun. It's a really good time of the year to be in Helsinki. So then we're going to have a nice dinner with you somewhere in Helsinki, and then that will operate as a very nice wrap up for the whole week. I want to also use this opportunity to highlight that Finnair is flying directly from Tel Aviv to Helsinki 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those flight times are a bit challenging because the Monday evening flight will land to Finland on Tuesday morning, like 4:15, if I remember correctly. So that might make the Tuesday full business day a bit challenging. But of course, there are plenty of other opportunities either through Istanbul, Frankfurt, or other hubs. So there are tens of flights via these hubs to Helsinki every day. A few words about the Radical Health Festival. Like I said, we are using that as a good gathering point to meet various people from Finland and in Europe at Helsinki. Like I mentioned, they have the investment forum. They also have the EU regional buyers and reference site network gathering at the Radical Health, which is then basically bringing 65 European region buyers and reference sites network representatives to Helsinki. So that might be something interesting for you. The European Cardiology Society is the lead clinical partner for the Radical Health Festival. So also then they also have their teams and interesting content for the program. Otherwise, Radical Health, they're running their own programs, and I have left link here where you can go through all the details for the stage content for every day. How we have structured otherwise this program is that all these services is free of charge for the companies, but of course you would need to cover your own flights, your accommodation, and the event tickets. We do have a discount code 20% for the event tickets. But we see that our biggest value is to really to make sure that you will meet the right people in Helsinki during that week. You have a good opportunity to really have an engaging conversation with these various testbed providers, which will then obviously help the journey to when the IIA call for the proposal is coming to life later on this autumn. Then regarding the next steps, we do have a Google Forms for the signups, and we would hope you to let us know if you want to come by 26th of May. And then that will basically help us to finalize the planning and organize all the meetings once we know who is coming, and make sure that then you will have a good and fruitful week in Helsinki in mid-June. And now it's a Q&A time, so we still have about 15 minutes. So hopefully that's enough to answer all your questions. And you can just basically unmute yourself and ask the question. And please also address to whom your question is for. So.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
This is David.
Hey, David.
This is David talking. I'm a member of the Israeli-Swedish Chamber of Commerce. And being used to Israel and Israelis, we go to the bottom line first. So there are Israeli companies that are interested to look for distributors and buyers or end users. Is this the place to meet them, and where should they go? Who should they talk to then? Can we set up meeting ahead of time? Who's going to be there, and so on and so on?
So the Radical Health, they do have matchmaking applications, which is run obviously by them, and through that then you're able to reach out the various participants. Of course, there will be an exhibition area covering some of the stakeholders that you just mentioned. I think that there's going to be about 100 exhibitors. The total event size is not massive. It's about 1,500 people. Personally, I feel that's better because then that also gives you time to really discuss with the people, and it's not too big to cover it in a couple of days. And like I said, we have quite a many like side meetings and to set up for you guys to meet with the testbed providers and so on. So, but regarding matchmaking, again, Radical Health, they have their own application for that, which should help then you to meet. And of course, we are happy to help if you want to have specific needs to meet some of the Finnish stakeholders in Helsinki. But of course, this our delegation, we are focusing on this building this R&D collaboration with Finnish hospitals. So hopefully that answered to your question there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eliane Markowitz. I'm from CEO for Finofast. I was asking in the chat, but for some reason it was not circulated. So I'm asking again. Is one of the medical centers who presented here in this Zoom has a microbiology lab that provides service to hospital needs?
Yes, I think that the Health Group Helsinki team already replied earlier yes, but obviously we are happy to get the confirmation and also then hear the answers from the other ecosystems. So, Katariina, you want to confirm the situation in Helsinki?
Yes, hi, this is Katariina from Health Group Helsinki. So yes, we have it, and please, you can fill our contact information form, so we will get to know what kind of needs do you have, and we can go from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Jenni, how is the situation in Oulu?
Fortunately, we don't have this kind of services at this moment to be provided.
Okay, thank you. How about then Tampere and Turku?
Turku has the lab, but it depends on the scale of testing, that what kind of services can be provided. So you can be in contact with us, and we get back to you to be sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, same from Tampere. Please be in contact with me or search for the possibilities.
Good, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Eliane. Good. Do we have any other questions from the audience at this point? Okay. Yeah. Galit, would you like to ask something? Sorry, we cannot hear you. Still no. No. You want to type your question in the chat? We could try that. Okay, and while we are waiting Galit's questions on the chat, if anyone else have a question, please feel free to ask. Okay, so the question is, I'm interested in biobanking collaborations. So some of the regions, they do have their own biobanks, but also then Finland has the FinBB, and FinGenomics, which is basically the national level operator for the biobanks. Kali, did you get my answer? Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Any other questions? If all clear at this point, so I'll just type you the organization name, and they're also in the presentation then. Okay. But if we don't have any other questions from the audience, I want to thank all of our speakers who joined us today. Thank you for sharing the details from the various regions from Finland. Thank you, Neta. Always a pleasure to have you on the stage. And like I mentioned, this recording and all the presentations will be then shared with all the participants, hopefully today, but latest then tomorrow. So then you will have all the details. And if any questions comes up after that, feel free to contact me. Again, my contact details are on the deck and in the email. And then hope to see many of you in Helsinki in mid-June in conjunction with the Radical Health. And with that, thanks again for joining us today. Thanks and stay safe.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.